Okay, before we start this video out, I just want to apologize if the lighting is bad and we are at a limit of space right now. Unfortunately, water did leak in from a rainstorm into the garage, but it is what it is. Let's get going. So, you see that. Alright, that light just shut off. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So, I did have a little bit of fun with this tire. As you could see. Yeah. And so the tube and the tire has popped. I'm going to be showing you how to replace that. It's pretty simple if the tire is completely aired down, which, you know, pretty self-explanatory. Aired down, there's no air at all whatsoever in this tire. So let's get going. I'm trying to, because I have to use my phone flashlight because the lighting is horrible in here. Let's see, how good is that? Maybe I'll turn the brightness up. Okay. Oh, the tools you're gonna need: probably a screwdriver with a flathead. You are obviously gonna need a tube and your tire. Depending on the tire size, you can find it on, let's see if I can find this one. Here you go, right there. So I don't know how well you guys can see that. This one is a 27.5 by 2.10. So I think there's more to that, but you guys get the point. Make sure you have the right tire size, the right tube size, and get going. So first thing you want to do is get your tools out. I'll show you. You'll just get the flat head out, as you can see, flat head. Put it on your tool. So let me put you down. Okay. So now you have your flathead out. As you can see, this is a bike, so totally forgot about the first part. You have to have this tool, but the way to get this back tire off, obviously you need it off, is by different tires have different ways to do it. This in particular tire and bike has a knob that you pull, like a pull thing, and screws. So let me show you how to get that on done. Hold this one and you unscrew righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and it is unscrewing. I'll show you in a second. You can go both ways, so it goes just a little bit faster. Let's go. Okay. Dang it. Okay. So I just dropped the mouse in here. Just put that in here, and you pull this out. Keep shutting off. Hold on. So now that you have that tire off and everything, what you'll need to do is where did I put that? Right here. So there should be screws. So let me find those. Or not screws, but springs. Here's one. Let's get that off. There we go. Where did that go? Right here. Okay. So that screw, and then there should be one over here. I'll look for that one. Next, what you do is you make sure what gear you know you're in. And I'll show you. Right here is your gear thing, and this is a little bit difficult if you're going to take it apart, because this back tire part, the front one is much easier to do, but the back one, this is loose. You have to put it back in particular place with this thing. It just becomes a hassle a little bit. So let me show you how to do that. You just hold this, pull up, hold this, And this should come out just like that. Okay. As you see, that is off. This is off. Keep that exactly so that you can, this is where, this side, that's where your chain goes in that. So now we have that done. Set you guys right there. Put the light facing right there. How's that look? Yeah, pretty decent. So now you're going to take your tool, let's see, right here, and you're going to put it right in this part right here. As you can see, it's kind of prying apart. So just like that. It's pulling out. This is always like legit the trickiest part of this. Okay, once it's starting to come out, this piece is the most hard piece probably to get it out, because you kind of have to give it a little tug, but that's really it. Pretty difficult to get this off, actually. A little bit harder than I thought, but once you got the tube and tire out, you just have the wheel, or the rim, however you say it. Now, this is where you get your new piece out. Make sure that when you open that, you don't pop it, do anything like that. Plastic off. I'm just kidding. So, oh, this would have been nice. Those are your tools to take off the old tube, and put the new one in. So, I forgot to mention, you will need an air pump. Probably the hand one's easier, because you're not really gonna put a lot of air in, but you're gonna put a little bit in so that it's not super flimsy. Okay, that's probably enough for me right now. Since I'm not 100% pro, you're probably thinking it looks a little big, and it is a little big right now, but that's just because it needs to be blown up a little bit. Next, what you got to get is your tire. A little difficult to get the tire thing off. Catch you guys real. Okay, now that you have your tire like this is when it's a little tricky, because you have to pull this tire out kind of like that. Make sure that it's round, because the tires are round and not square, and you know, you get the point. And what the hard thing is trying to put the tube and the tire in at once. So you circle this tire or the wheel like this, and you find where you put the air in. I'm just gonna add a little bit more air, just because I think it needs more. But you don't. That's actually probably perfect. Okay. So now once you have some air in this tube, you fit it. Make sure that this hole is in that one. As you can see, it just, give it a second. It comes right through. That is just like that. And you run this tube up. You're not done though. Now comes the trickier part of fitting the tire in along with the tube. So give me 1 second to. This tire needs to be placed inside this ring. So you kind of, I'm gonna let just a tad. Obviously it isn't a day. Methods that I did was basically put the tire. Hold on, there's something on the camera. Sorry, you guys. There you go. I put something right here to tie this tire in like that, and I just kind of beaded it around. Tube is right here, the new one, and you kind of just, you gotta look for where the hole is. The hole is right there. Feed that tube into the hole, kind of feed it around the rim, and put the tube in. So yeah, catch you guys in a sec. Okay, so like I said, I fed that through. You can pull it a little bit more so that tube is out. Kind of just feeding it like so inside the hole like this. Just put it just in there, just like you guys are seeing. So yeah, catch you when that step is over. Okay, now that the tube is in, that's tube, this is tire. You just kind of start, there's a little bit of a gap in this tire that actually fits in this part. So you just start putting, this line should not be showing. So, catch you guys. Whoa. Okay. As that quick little time lapse showed, I'm starting to feed it in. You just kind of have to find the right PSI, which is a very low PSI to fit this tube in the tire. As you can see, there is no green or blue until there. A little bit. No, actually, see, starting to show right there. So you keep feeding it in. This tool actually kind of comes in handy. Comes with your new tube that you'll get. And as you see, slowly but surely, I thought it'd be a lot harder than this. It was a little difficult because I'm doing it one-handed and trying to film. But lo and behold, it is getting a little bit more difficult toward the end. So I'm gonna put you guys down. But you saw how I did that. Started up here, ended down here. So yeah, stand by. Okay, right after that, it is getting dark once again, but you just air up the tire to the recommended PSI. Kind of differs between tubes and tires, so yeah, stand by. As you can see, I did manage to scratch my wheel up a little bit, but otherwise, it looks, whoa, sorry. It looks pretty decent for what it is, so yeah, let's get it on. Okay, first step of getting this on, make sure this chain is on the top. Let me get my phone out. It's pretty hard to see. Once again, I'm filming in the dark. But super simple to change the tire if you know what you're doing and if you've done it a couple times. There we go. Okay. So as you see, we have the light shows this chain should be right on top of that one. If you have disc brakes, which I do highly recommend. If you have the disc brake, make sure that your disc goes inside that disc hole. And yeah, so let's do it. So as you saw from last night, you just make sure that the side with the chain is on the side with the chain, and like I said, if you have disc brakes like I do, which this is your disc, it needs to be lined up. So this is always the tricky part, I think, but you figure it out after time after time. So you do have to, it's a little tricky, but you'll deal with it. You just pull back and push it into place. Let's see. This is off a little bit. So, I mean, it does have to be on exact. So, yeah. There we go. And that, now it's on perfect. So Second time's the charm from last time. I tried making a video, but it didn't save. So overall, good tire from before. I threw it away. But don't forget about the most important part. To put a new tire back on, you probably, I think, should put your tire mounts back on and your wheel, basically your lug nuts, but they're not lug nuts, so yeah, you'll have to put these back on so that your wheel and tire setup does not come off, which would suck. It would suck, but could happen. Could happen to anybody if you don't do it right. So I twist with both sides. The lights just shut off. Give me 1 sec. Boy, this motion light sensor thing, it's kind of a pain. Boy, that would have been any harder. Okay, and then just tighten until you probably can't tighten anymore. Tighten both sides. That's making a weird noise, I don't think, but what the heck. Okay, so if you mess up this part like I just did, there's a spring that goes in there that's a little glitchy, but it'll all go back to what it should be in a second. That spring is just so that it can so that it'll preload. So hold on. Okay, so it turned out that I put the spring on backwards, so there's a fault on my side. Just give her a little tighten, and it should be wiggle it. Gonna be back in business, so yeah, get y'all in a second. So it's tight, it's not coming apart. This part is, I believe, on correctly. This is gonna be the test. Yep, just has to readjust to what gear I'm in. And look at that. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was informational. I will tell you this. If you're ever gonna switch out one of these and you have to put a new tube in, I'd recommend opening it first, because I forgot that they include tools that is pretty easy and easier to use to take off the tire. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. So as you see, this tire and wheel setup is back on. New tire, looking really nice. I gotta put a new front one on pretty soon, but we still got some traction. So yeah, if you guys are stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Hopefully this was informational for you. I'll do a bike cleaning video, maybe. Probably a couple bike rides. There is a new video that is going to be coming up on a review. It's over there. So, yeah. Like I said, if you're stopping in for this first time, please subscribe. Like, comment below new video ideas. And I'll catch you all on the flip side. Bye-bye.